Good morning, everybody. Matt Cubbler again with I Got You Public Speaking. I'm obviously sitting in front of the Tim Tebow jerseys that I have in my office. Um, just a little backstory. I've been blessed in my life to have been a bodyguard for 20 years to a lot of really famous people and influential people, mostly in the sports world. And for about a period of 4 years, I was Tim Tebow's bodyguard and did some work for his family. And I got to spend a lot of time with him and his family and his brothers and sisters. And they're just amazing people. And everything that you think you know about Tim Tebow and what is portrayed in the media, he's 10 times better than even that. So, an amazing young man, talented, driven, Christian, just an all around great person. And I'm blessed to have been part of his evolution when he was coming out of college and into the pros. Some of the things I learned from Tim, and I did learn a lot from Tim, is about conviction and mental strength and overcoming adversity and believing in yourself and helping others find that in themselves. So I took a lot of the time that I spent with Tim, and I've absorbed a lot of that information, and I've used it a lot with the kids that I work with at Max Out, which is my fitness business that I started 8 years ago. So not only do I do strength and conditioning with these kids, but I also do mental toughness and leadership and how to overcome adversity and control things within their control, and understanding where their strengths and weaknesses are in their own personalities so that they can better employ them in the sport that they're playing and have greater success. So one of the things I really enjoy doing is working with kids. I work with pro athletes as well, college athletes, and then I can also do this with the civilian world. But in the sports world, it has a little bit more. You can see it happen and evolve as the season goes on, and it's pretty cool for me to be able to take a kid from the beginning, off season, all the way through a season to the end of the season, and show them how all the work they did in the gym and all the work that we did as far as their mental conditioning paid off for them. So it's got a real tangible component to it. One of the things I first do with a kid after I get their trust and show them how the strength and conditioning side pays off physically on the court or on the field is I get them to buy into a system that I created for my leadership development and mental toughness and overcoming adversity training. And the first thing I do is I get them to figure out who they are. I talked about that in my leadership video, that you got to understand your strengths and weaknesses and where you're going to have your best chance to be successful. And I get kids to figure that out. I use a lot of question and answers. I never tell a kid anything. I always ask them questions and get the information from them, and then create more questions out of those answers. And then I also use disc profiling in certain situations so that I can sort of show them that the work we just did through self-discovery actually is real because science says so through the disc profile. So that's pretty cool. But then also the in-game management, understanding the highs and lows of sports and understanding how to utilize emotions and how emotions can play a positive or negative role in the course of a game, and getting kids to understand how to control that. You know, how fear plays a role and how joy and excitement plays a role, and how sadness and anxiety and all those things that happen in sports, getting them to learn how to control that so that they can utilize it to their best of their ability so they can help the team succeed. And as leaders, learning how to control your environment is huge. And getting a kid to learn how to do that at the earliest stage possible is something I really work towards, because I think it'll pay off not only for that season and sports seasons to come, but also in life. When they get done playing sports, they can utilize a lot of the things we learned in their personal lives and in their business lives. One of the things my daughter, it's tough to coach your own kid, especially with mental coaching. But my daughter's a swimmer, and she was always a very beautiful swimmer, but she wasn't necessarily a fast swimmer and didn't win much up until I started doing her strength and conditioning before her freshman year in high school. By the time she was a sophomore, she was starting to realize that she could control some outcomes through her physical effort, and that if she worked harder in the gym, that translated into faster times in the pool. But one thing that she was missing was the mental strength and the overcoming adversity and the ability to understand how to control that. And I have a rule: I won't force what I do on my kids, and I wanted her to want to have that happen. And she was watching what I was doing with the other kids that I was working with, and she came to me and asked me to do that with her. And I'm happy to say that she took it. We were able to separate dad from coach, and if I saw that I was getting too intense with her coach-wise, I would back it off and get back into my dad role. But she's now a sophomore at college, got a scholarship. She swims Division II swimming. She's one of the top swimmers in the country in Division II. And she's just a mentally strong kid who understands how to control that. And that to me is huge, being able to control that environment. So if you're interested in that, if you have a team or an athlete, or even if you're an adult in the business world and you need some mental conditioning and learning how to overcome adversity and controlling things within your control, please give me a call. You can reach me on my website, though, at www.mattcubbler.com, MattCubbler.com.